On September 26, 2022, I posted my first devlog of this game I'm making for the Playdate. It's got all the bells and whistles, platforming, a level editor, a cute little character, and a way to share levels using Morse code. But this week, I'm working on the greatest, most interesting feature yet, a saving and loading system. But that's not all. As you can see from the length of this video, I've made a ton of progress this week. All joking aside, it actually ended up being a pretty interesting feature to work on, so I'm excited to show you the progress that I made this week, and it completed the core game loop as well. First thing I do whenever I create a new feature is to hop into Sprite and create a mockup. I was looking to make a list of all the levels that you created on the left, with a panel on the right showing some information. There's a few actions you can take with a level, which is to play the level, edit the level, and delete it, so I mocked up a little pop-up with some options for that. As you can see, I've got that tasteful, blocky UI design, which was an artistic choice. After I wrapped that up, I jumped right into the coding. After a bit of work, I had the basics of the list up and running, with some test levels that have their names fitted properly into the list, and a create new level button at the end. It seems pretty simple, but since I'm not using a game engine, it still ends up taking about 100-ish lines of code to get something as basic as this implemented. At this point though, you can't do anything with the levels yet, so I added in the pop-up that I mocked up earlier in Sprite. Now, you still can't do anything with the levels, but at least it seems like you can. The new level button doesn't work either, so I used the Playdate keyboard component and animated in a text box to take in the name of the new level. After you put in the name, it'll save it as a new level and bring you to the level editor scene. After editing the level, you can go back to the level list and it'll be saved properly, but there's no way to get back currently. No worries, it's a pretty easy thing to implement. You can see here after I create a new level and go back to the list screen, I can now use the edit button and go right back to where I was. And after I'm finished, I can go back to play the level. So, in the current build of the game loop looks like this. When you boot up the game, you have no levels and start off by creating a new one. I'll show you a little demo by creating a level myself. Alright, now that I'm done with the level, I'm gonna jump right in and see how this level plays out.